Myrna Ellery has been waiting for her day in Canberra to speak out about the banks. As a former NAB employee, she will set targets to sign up more customers to digital banking.
If you're doing your job and you're migrating as many customers to digital platforms as possible, you'll find that your branch is listed to close. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
She says the banks are downplaying the number of people who visit branches to justify closures.
Closing of rural and regional branches is absolutely devastating for many staff members and for the customer and the community.
Politicians are considering whether banks should be forced to maintain their presence in the regions after more than 1,600 branches closed down nationwide over the past 6 years.
I'd be very careful before enshrining something of like a number of branches into a banking licence.
Since the inquiry began, Westpac and ANZ have committed to suspending bank closures, while the Commonwealth Bank has agreed to keep them open until at least 2026. But NAB is sticking to its guns and has shut down around 30 regional branches in the past 6 months, even some that have seen increased activity.
There comes a point where not enough are coming into a branch to actually make that service viable.
When we do close a branch, that's because essentially nobody's using it anymore.
The bank bosses say most of their customers bank online, and the main reason for the closures is the decline of cash.
The macro trend we've got is in 2007, cash was about 70% of customer payments. It's now down at 13% in 2022, and some predictions have it going to 4% over the next periods.
And that comes with a cost.
The usage of cash is going down, so the overall cost of cash on a per unit basis is going to go up and up and up.
CBA's boss Matt Common says his bank spends $400 million a year to provide cash services, which includes the cost of keeping it safe with armoured security vehicles.
Many of our customers don't use cash though, and these customers cross-subsidise those that do.
While some banks like Macquarie are phasing out the use of cash, CBA's boss thinks it'll be around for quite some time.
We certainly have no plans to remove cash distribution or the provision of cash in Australia. I don't think that that's feasible, and I don't think that would be desirable, certainly in the foreseeable future.
As banks push back on keeping branches open, regional Australians can expect more closures. The bank bosses say their deal with Australia Post fills a gap in regional banking. NAB's CEO even claimed that it increases his bank's presence in the regions, but that didn't go down well with politicians.
For those towns that did have a bank and now no longer have a bank, the Australia Post is the current service offerings of Australia Post are no substitute. So the suggestion that you're saying they are, I think, shows you're a little bit out of touch.
But a simple touch is the future, the banks would argue.